Only 51% of all treated water in Abu Dhabi is being recycled, out of which 400,000 meter cube of effluents is being discharged into the South Musafa Channel. Why is wastewater treatment so inefficient? Because it is an energy-intensive and an expensive process. According to a target set by Abu Dhabi for 2020, 60% of total waste generated in the emirate has to be treated using sustainable methods. According to IRENA, 65% of global energy has to come from renewable sources by 2050. However, at the current trajectory that we are going, we will only see a 25% shift. This 40% gap can be addressed using our solution, BactoWatt. BactoWatt is a simple technology. Sewage and glucose are emptied into two chambers. An aerator is plugged in. The bacteria travels through the salt bridge to the glucose, and it eats the glucose, and all this treats the wastewater while generating electricity. In an ideal scenario, in a sewage treatment plant of 300,000 meter cube capacity, which receives wastewater containing chemical oxygen demand of 480 milligrams per liter, with BactoWatt, there's a 75% reduction. 12 megawatts of energy is being produced, which means this meets the daily energy requirements of 702 people. BactoWatt will be seamlessly integrated into existing treatment facilities as a retrofit post the primary treatment. Our initial revenue will come from this retrofit, followed by maintenance and commissions. We will start with 10 sewage treatment plants in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and eventually scale it to 100 sewage treatment plants in the GCC and MENA region by the end of 5 years. Our competitors have been identified based on the process that they use for treatment versus the output that they generate. BactoWatt is the best because we use biological processes to generate grey water and electricity. Our company will phase in 3 phases. Phase 1 is when we form innovation partnerships to scale our research prototype into a MVP. Phase 2 is when we go into pilot and testing. And phase 3 is when we go into production and launch. Our future customer segments will also involve low-income communities and households. For this, we need 1.3 million dirhams. We are a team of 3 young women who have a combined experience of 4 years in sustainability. To stop what you flush from haunting you, please come see us after our pitch, because sustainability is here to stay, or we may not. I'd like to call my teammates on stage for the Q&A.
Did you speak to Masdar already?
No, we are still in the process of talking and forming an innovation
fund. The pilot 1.3 is all 3 segments, or for only Masdar pilot? What's the smallest pilot you can do?
So right now we have a research prototype, and as you saw in the slide, BactoWatt in action. So ideally, we would be able to generate 21 megawatts of electricity, which would power the energy needs of 702 people with the idealistic version of our product, BactoWatt. So hopefully, we will be able to form these innovation partnerships to scale our research prototype into a commercial one. So that's what we are aiming for by the end of this year.
Don't give me 21 meg. That's 21 huge wind turbines. What is the smallest you can do in Masdar City? Realistic, smallest with a lower value.
So our prototype actually generated 3.5 volts of electricity. That was very, very mediocre prototype. So that's the least that we've been able to do. But like I said, like my partner Namita said, this is the best case scenario with all of our idealistic parameters in place. So like
300,000 meter cube, that's huge. We know that. I mean,
yeah, that's an ideal sewage treatment plant facility.
What do you need then? Let's do the reverse. What do you need for 1 megawatt? Constant 1 megawatt. This is constant production 1 megawatt we're talking about.
Sorry?
This is constant production of 1 megawatt. Like you have to have 300,000 meter cube of sewage always feeding your system, so you can transform into the energy, correct? What if you only have 1,000 meter cube that's flowing into your system?
Yes, it would be lower than 21 megawatt, but
Of course.
for example, if you take Jebel Ali sewage treatment plant, both the phases, the phase 1 and phase 2 together in itself is 650 meter cube. So 650,000 meter cube. So this 300,000 meter cube for a place like UAE is actually really very small. So we're expecting this kind of flow anyway. So 21 megawatts will definitely be generated.
Okay, thank you.